John Wick was a legendary assassin who had worked for the ruthless high-table crime syndicate for many years. Though a deadly killer, underneath it all he dreamed of leaving that life behind and finally knowing freedom. The city he lived in had no clear rules or law, only the unwritten codes that had lasted forever under the control of the high table. John lived by these codes and did any job assigned to him without question, knowing there was no escape from their power. One day, John arrived at the Continental Hotel, the one place where business could never be conducted and where he had found rare moments of peace. But the manager delivered devastating news, by order of the Grand Master of the High Table. The hotel had been condemned and John had just 1 hour to gather his things before it was destroyed. John strode purposefully to confront the man in charge, the feared Grand Master. But he was told bluntly that his reign in their criminal world was over and that freedom could only be known through death. As their shared nature could never escape what they were. No man escapes the orders of the High Table. Filled with rage and vengeance, John tracked down one of the Grand Master's enforcers and shot him mercilessly. But to his dismay, the man survived. Word quickly reached the Grand Master, who declared John a failure and nothing more than a pathetic stray dog in their city. He had his hotel seized and status revoked. His longtime friend and former associate Winston tried to warn John that the High Table would never stop hunting him now. But John was determined, if he could not run from this life, then he would face his enemies one final time and find a way to gain the freedom that had always eluded him. The Grand Master issued a challenge: John would duel to the death with pistols at sunrise. If he survived, his obligations to the syndicate would be finished. On the fated morning, with the rising sun at his back, John strode calmly to the dueling site with his opponent waiting. As the seconds began the countdown, John saw his chance to draw first and end it all. But when he found his opponent had disarmed himself against the rules, John could not pull the trigger on an unarmed man. Impressed by John's adherence to honor over revenge, the Grand Master released him from their bonds at last. In sparing a life, John Wick had finally won his own.